Welcome to a 1977 CJ5 Renegade restoration project. Now this Jeep, like so many others, was born in Toledo, Ohio, 1977, sold to a customer in North Carolina. Original owner recently sold it to us, and my two boys and I are bringing this guy back to life and really enjoying the process. So we're about 250 hours in. I'd say we're midway through this total build. And a couple big rock things of note. This was an original H-code Jeep, so it's got that AMC 304 cubic inch. Now, we broke tradition with Jeep a little bit. We did go back with that AMC metallic blue. We just genuinely liked it. We also put a couple upgrades into this engine just to improve drivability. This guy has got the electronic fuel injection system. This came out of Holley's Sniper, and we complemented that with the air cleaner with those vintage looks. We also put aluminum valve covers on the side, trying to clean up, making sure that that doesn't leak at all. We're also going to lean into putting power brakes as well as power steering on this guy. This Jeep, while it had the big engine, was stripped down and did not have power steering or power brakes as new. We're also leaning into the idea of these red accents, which my boys like. So we are going to go ahead and we put a custom wiring loom on this guy. This is the 8.5 millimeter performance wires. We should not get any crosstalk there, but we'll see, time will tell. Really cleaned up the way this distributor looks. The routing is really looking pretty clean. Proud of the boys and the way that has come together. A couple other big rock items. Suspension. Yeah, couldn't help it. We did put a lift on this guy. So we put a 2.5 inch lift, and this is a rough country solution. So that is a spring, then a couple more in there, 2.5 inch lift, as well as long drop shocks, and we put a more robust steering stabilizer in there, trying to get the death wobble out of this guy. Now, really fortunate, this one originally did come with front disc brakes, so those have been completely replaced and new. Got those all cleaned up with new shoes as well as new discs. Overall, pleased with the way that is looking. And we stayed with the original rims to us. For those of you who got a calibrated eye, these are not original Jeep ears, but the date code is from the late 70s, so we gone ahead and restored these. We went with the wagon wheel white, that bright white, which I really like on the Jeeps. A couple customization pieces. We did go ahead and hand paint these red paint pinstripes, which I love. Complemented that with some red accents in the Warren locking hubs, which have been completely rebuilt. And then we went with black lug nuts, really cleaned up the way that looks. Trying to make it match. You can see the front and then into the rear. Now, these are original Jeep centers, which we scored, but admittedly they're not originally out of the 1977 catalog. They're from the later series, but I really wanted to make the two match, both front and rear, just like the way that looks. So we're taking some of what we think are the best parts from the various years, pulling them all together. The other thing that came to us, not original, but side pipes. You gotta love the sound of a straight pipe V8 just purring, and this thing sounded amazing before it came apart, and I'm sure it's gonna sound just as good when it starts back up. Flowtech long drop headers, and they are rolling into purple hornies, both of which had been painted with a high temp black out of Eastwoods, commercially available. Really pleased with that. Also took the time to put all new brake lines in. So these are a stainless steel brake line all throughout, and these came out of inline tubes. Also highly recommend. Very well formed fit, really modest tweaks to get those all to fit upright. Rear axle is going to be the original AMC 20. I know it's the two-piece axle, but we're going to keep it alive. We may upgrade it if we break it, but the real work with this guy was the frame. So this frame had seen lots of wear and tear over its life, and they've got a bad reputation of having material that sits in the bottom of them. And this one was rusted out. You could literally see through this rear frame. So if you haven't found them yet, highly recommend a group called Rust Busters. You can get pre-formed fab kits. They have made these kits in all the classic areas where these guys rust out. This one got a new bumper, it got new rears, and got just a couple of rust touch points all throughout, but it is absolutely rock solid now, been brought back to life. Fuel tank, we pulled the original out. It did have rust in it, and this is a repop, but it's the same size and dimension. 77s, for those of you who really know your Jeeps, originally had that round cowling, and we're going to keep that. That was a 1 year only look, so we're really going to keep that. But overall, about 250 hours into this restoration. Really proud of the boys and seeing how this is coming together. Project name, Jeep Peep. You want to follow our progress? By all means, love to have you join us and coach us along the way as this guy comes back to life. We will check back in when this 1977 is purring. Bodywork is next.